Lobster Macaroni and Cheese, the luxurious and indulgent dish that combines the rich and creamy goodness of classic mac and cheese with succulent chunks of fresh lobster meat. The savory and slightly sweet flavor of lobster perfectly complements the tangy and cheesy sauce, making every bite a decadent delight. Whether you're looking for a show-stopping dish for a special occasion or simply want to treat your guests, Lobster Macaroni and Cheese is sure to impress. It's a favorite dish of high-end steakhouses, and tonight we'll make it at home. Here's what you'll need to make this delicious entree. 2 fresh lobster tails, 2 tablespoons of butter, 1½ tablespoons of flour, 1½ cups of cold milk, a pinch each of paprika, nutmeg, cayenne pepper, salt and pepper, 3 drops of Worcestershire sauce, 4 ounces of grated cheddar cheese and an ounce of Gruyere cheese, 1 cup of elbow or cavatappi pasta. And for the topping, we'll need 3 tablespoons of breadcrumbs, a tablespoon of melted butter, and 2 tablespoons of grated Parmesan cheese. The first step is to get the lobster meat ready. Split the 2 lobster tails in half. Using a chef's knife, start at the tail and split the lobster in half. Add a few pieces of butter to the pan and turn the heat to medium. Place the split lobster tails into the pan and cook them for about 3 minutes per side. We're not cooking the lobster meat all the way through, just enough to get some color on them. Place the slightly cooked lobster tails onto a plate and set them aside to cool. We'll pull the meat out of them later. Our next step is to get the cheese sauce going. Whisk in some flour to make a roux. Cook the roux for 3 to 4 minutes, then whisk in cold milk. Adding milk in cold instead of warm will help prevent lumps. Then add in the seasonings and whisk them into the milk. Add in a few drops of Worcestershire sauce and bring the sauce up to a simmer. Add in the shredded cheese. We're using 4 ounces of yellow cheddar and an ounce of white cheddar. You can use whatever cheese you want. Then whisk in the cheese so that it melts and incorporates into the sauce, and then turn the heat off. Next, we'll pull the meat out of the lobster shells. Don't throw away the lobster shells. Instead, put them into the pot of water and cook them with the macaroni for some added flavor. It might take some practice to get all of the meat out in one pull, but use your fingers to separate the meat from the shell, then lay the meat onto the plate. Use a knife to cut the lobster meat into small bite-sized pieces. Next, add in the macaroni to a pot of boiling salted water with the lobster shells in them. Cook according to directions, which is usually 8 to 10 minutes. This recipe is enough for 2 people, and it's best to serve them individually for added ambiance and presentation. Butter 2 bowls or ramekins and set them aside. We'll add the macaroni and lobster to them in just a bit. Next, let's make the topping. Melt a tablespoon of butter in a small cup. Add in the breadcrumbs and grated Parmesan cheese and mix it all together. When the macaroni is finished cooking, pull the lobster shells out. But again, don't throw them away. We'll use them for garnish and decoration on our final plate. Add the cooked macaroni to the pan of cheese sauce and mix it in thoroughly. Then add the macaroni and cheese to the buttered ramekins. Begin to add the pieces of lobster meat to the bowl of macaroni and cheese, and try to push each piece down so that it's covered with the macaroni. Add any extra shredded cheese to the top of the dish, and then add the buttered breadcrumb topping to the top of the dish too. Preheat the oven to 400 degrees. Then put the 2 ramekins of lobster mac and cheese onto a sheet pan and place them in the oven for 20 minutes. Pull the pan out of the oven, garnish with the cooked lobster shells, and you're ready to serve. And there it is! Lobster macaroni and cheese! Sweet, succulent lobster meat with a tangy cheese sauce. This beautiful presentation is perfect for special occasions or date night. Impress your guests with this amazing entree served at the finest steakhouses. It was delicious! Until next time, bon appetit!